Well, I don't know if this movie wants us to talk about it because we tried to record this right now and it didn't.
Yeah.
It seemed like it didn't want us to talk about it,
Right.
but we're gonna try again regardless. We were
Hey.
talking about Antarctica, a
Yeah.
film that came out in 2020, kind of late 2020,
Mm-hmm.
written and directed by Keith Bearden, who, aside from one
Yeah.
feature-length film that he did by the name of Meet Monica Velour, he's mostly done shorts. So this is his second feature film.
Yeah. Sophomore effort.
It is interesting.
Yeah.
I myself, let me introduce myself. Adrian El Critico here, and with my co-host, as always, my Gene Siskel in stature to my Roger Ebert in physical equivalence.
Okay.
um,
Is Jeff
Jeff, yeah.
or Jeef? Either one.
I was thinking like, okay, I have Adrian El Critico. I'm not gonna say my email, but but that's there, and it's like, what would Jeff be? Would it just be Jeff at WeBeWatchingFilms.com?
It'd just be
I feel like you need some kind of Jeff the something.
Jeff the Jeef. Jeff.
Yeah, see, and I thought that too. I thought Jeff the Jeef. And
Jeff
then I
is
thought
Jeef.
that's like for like a child's character would be called that, or some kind of like a big lumbering like kind of dumb oafish thing from like the Renaissance era would be called that.
Yeah. Jeff the Jeef.
So I thought maybe we shouldn't do that one.
Okay. Bring out the Jeef.
Well, we're talking about Antarctica, and I was kind of worried about this movie in the sense that I was hoping that this wasn't going to be a straight up bad film because it is a small movie and no one likes to shit on small movies.
Right, yeah.
It's hard to even get a movie out there. So just the fact that this is streaming right now on Amazon and Vudu, that's really fucking cool.
Yeah, totally.
That's an achievement in itself. Luckily, this wasn't what I would say is a bad film.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's definitely a weird one.
It's
definitely I'm not sure who the audience for is this movie for.
This is surreal, man. This is like if someone saw Booksmart and was like, let's put it on Adult Swim and have it animate. Like you hit we said this in the last recording, but you hit the nail on the head where you were like, this seems like it should be animated and on Adult Swim because it has that kind of surreal nature, but it doesn't go. But I feel like if it was animated, they would go even further into the surrealness.
Yeah, if it was animated, they'd be able to do some wackier kind of visual jokes, which this even has.
Yeah.
This has not surreal imagery, but it has some like a weird character aspect. Like there's a character who may or may not be imaginary.
Right.
Which is like pretty interesting to put in a movie about two girls trying to be teenage girls in
small town America,
society in small town Maryland. Yeah, this one note that I didn't write down, but I was also thinking is like this, something about this feels like I felt the same way about this that I felt while watching Joker, where it's like they'll say some, clearly they have some ideas in mind and some themes that they want to portray, and there's a lot of social messages with this movie. But so many of them feels like, I know, I get it.
Yeah, yeah.
We've been talking about this. This isn't, and you're not bringing anything really new to the table, unfortunately.
It is the fourth movie I've seen in 2020 that has a certain subplot. I'm not gonna say it in case it's a spoiler.
Yeah,
but that's been happening a lot lately.
Yeah, and this is the first one to take a very serious subject and turn it into something that is really funny to me.
Okay, well,
almost the entirety of this scene cracked me the fuck up because it's like so much of it just like shouldn't be funny.
Right.
That's kind of what I like about this movie, or at least really, really respect, is that this movie kind of takes chances in its comedy.
Yeah.
Like there's a scene where one of the characters is, through some circumstances that like really aren't her fault, she's forced to go to a sex
Yeah.
addiction like group therapy session.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's even like a residential
Yeah.
stay, like she's staying
Mm-hmm.
there. And they do a joke of like people trying to get into her room, which absolutely should not be funny.
Yeah.
Like that's terrible. It's kind of really funny when they do it, at least to me. Like just the fact that it went that far while not being straight up like exploitative.
I think
I don't know who this movie is
I
for.
think that there's I don't know. There are moments like that where I was like, okay, that was weird and not really that funny. And then there are other moments where, listen, man, okay, when I first finished this movie, I was like, well, I didn't really care for that. And then re going over the movie to like see if I missed like or like going over my notes. Man, there's some parts that I was watching again that had me cracking up. And I was like, oh my god, if I watch this again, I feel like maybe if I watch this again, I'll like it better because I was not expecting something so surreal the first time around. We should probably talk about what the movie is about.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, we should absolutely talk about what the movie's about. But what I always kind of envision for our show is like selling a movie based on how we feel about it, more so as like the objective review behind the movie. But so if from what you're hearing right now, if you're like, what the fuck are they talking about? I want to see that. Hey, fucking go,
Yeah,
please go
it's
ahead
on
and go for
Amazon.
it. The movie itself, like I said, it's called Antarctica. It's about two girls living in small town
Hmm.
USA. One of them, who is an Asian girl named Kimi Moroya, plays
Janet.
the character Janet. Chloe Levine is her, I guess, best friend, kind of
Yeah.
going through a rough patch together because it doesn't seem like they're the greatest of
Okay.
friends. Like it's definitely not book smart.
That's kind of what made me go like, wait a minute here, because
Yeah.
we've had in the last like 5 years we've had a spat of like female teenage female friendship movies that are actually pretty good. I mean,
Uh
I'm not
huh.
just gonna bring up Booksmart because that's my favorite, but there's also Never Going Back, and there's the movie I saw on Netflix, Banana Split. There's also Edge of
Mm-hmm.
17. There's been kind of like a renaissance of that, and in all those movies, I got the bond, I got the friendship, and in this, I was like, "Are you guys sure you're friends?" like on
Yeah.
IMDb, it says lifelong friends. I was like, I don't know about that.
Which at the same time, it's like I was feeling that, but as the movie went along, it kind of made me realize, like, you know what? This does sometimes happen to friends. Like you'll see each other every day for
Hmm.
years, and then there's a point where it's like I need to focus on myself, and your friend's like, I really need to focus on myself. And the only way that that comes across as like the only way to really express that because they're teenagers is let's just avoid each other and kind of be shitty to one
Yeah.
another.
Yeah, because they are like, all right, they're really good friends, and then like they'll have a conversation, and then they're not like friends anymore. And I was like, okay, and then they're friends again, and then they're not friends anymore. It's a roller coaster ride.
And it makes sense because sometimes you will have like an opinion on a movie where it's just like, why am I talking to this guy?
I mean, they are like teenagers, so they're very
Right,
yeah.
right. But yeah, they play best friends, and it's really just about whatever the writer and director wants it to be
Hmm.
about. So at some point, it's a movie about it's a movie about feminism. At some point, it's a movie about consent and the way people treat women in the subject of sex versus the way people treat
Yeah,
men for the same type of behavior. These two teens having a friendship in high school is just the palette to
the Trojan horse.
not so much Trojan horse because they're not making it hidden what the subjects of
Okay.
like each of these scenes
Yeah.
are. But it's just for the director and the writer to well, it's the same guy, but it's just for the director and writer to be like, here's how I feel about society right now, and I'm just gonna kind of say what I feel about it, and that's about it. Every scene kind of feels like a little skit.
Yeah, yeah, totally. And this is a short movie. It's only 80 minutes. Like on IMDb, it says it's an hour and a half, but not the version we saw.
No.
And it's over in like a okay. I don't know. I don't know how really how to feel about this movie, but maybe I'll watch it again and I don't feel like I want to watch it again, but maybe I'll watch it again years from now and be like, maybe I was too hard on that. I don't know.
And here's also the thing: the film is about two teenage girls in small town USA. Jeff and I are two
Right.
adult men, adults. One of them literally white, and the
Yeah.
other one just light skinned.
Yeah.
Living in Chicago,
Yeah.
which is like the biggest opposite of a small town.
Right.
So maybe there's just shit in here that we just don't
Right.
get. Like I want to put that on the table that there is a chance of that.
I
happening.
like the actresses in here though. I think they do really well.
Yeah, especially for me, and at least I thought
Yeah, I was gonna mention her. Yeah.
Kimi Moroya did a fantastic job. There's even a part in here which is like just another weird thing about this movie is that it gets like really it gets really real at a certain point.
Yeah.
But when it does that, it allows her to like really give it her all, and she fucking does.
There are two things I wanted to bring up that consistently made me laugh throughout this movie, or be like, "Huh, that was amusing." Like through all the jokes that didn't work, I liked. Oh man, I hope I say this right. Leith Nakili,
Okay. Yeah.
who played Vlad.
Which
Kat's,
is
I guess stepdad or like mom's
Yeah.
boyfriend, and I know him from Swallow, and
oh, he was the fucking
he's
the guy who helps
yeah,
her out, right?
it's
I knew I'd seen him.
I know him from that, and
Okay, yeah, I like this
and
guy.
Rami as Uncle Nassim, and basically everything he said was like is so basically playing his character from Rami, where he's just like women are good at emotions and feelings, men are good at money and killing
and killing. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, and then everything with the school, that she like how the school is like their history lessons, the posters that they have in the hallways, the fact that this principal is like we're going to appoint those janitors as security guards now, like
Yeah, which is like that's where it turns into that like surreal Adult Swim type humor where it's like, or maybe not so much Adult Swim. There's a director whose name I can't think of. I know the first name it's Quentin, and I think it's Dupieux, but he's the guy who directed Rubber.
Oh, okay.
And he did Deerskin most recently.
Oh, okay.
He creates these like comedies that you're either gonna like be on board or you're gonna like fucking despise them. And it's because he creates this like uncomfortable in between of realism and complete parody.
Right.
And that's what like the school in this movie is, because it's like they go to lengths to bully someone where it's like, just kill her already if you guys hate her that much. Like, you might as well just go full horror movie with the shit that they do, because it's something that like I know bullying would happen at a school. We've been to school. I'm sure we've been bullied at some point.
Right.
It's never to the point of like, let's like hang an effigy in
Right.
someone's locker
Yep.
and just berate this person for the rest of her life, where it's just like, this just doesn't happen. I'm sorry, it doesn't.
That's
So
yeah.
I'm so at on one hand, it wants to be like a parody of that, to also bring light to like, hey, school bullying is real, but at the same time, it's like it's trying to be too serious with it. I don't know.
It's a strange
It
little
creates,
film.
It is, man.
But I guess we gotta go to final thoughts.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil this movie. I don't know. One more joke that I really like is pay attention to a poster in the background, not in the school, but it is a poster for an SCD. I thought that was very funny.
Okay.
I thought the joke with that is enough to watch this if it's on Netflix.
Oh, one last joke I wanted to bring up. It's surreal in the way like this reminded me of something like Sorry to Bother You. Where one of the Janet is watching a TV show called Knocked Up Castaways, where it's just pregnant people on a deserted island, and that's a reality show.
It's not just like It's not just pregnant women. It like they have to be teenagers
Right.
too. So it's like a parody of that, and it's a parody of fucking Teen Mom on
Yeah.
MTV and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is also like kind of a dated reference at this point.
Yeah. I mean, Teen Mom was around when I was in high school.
Exactly. So once again, I get what this director is trying to say, but I feel like I've heard this before.
I've enjoyed some surreal movies before, like Sorry to Bother You or Under the Silver Lake, and this is just like, I'm interested in what this guy does next. We'll see. I don't know. I don't really feel that strongly on this, but I don't not like it.
This is like, if they were to just crank it up a little more in the surrealism of it and the just like bizarre feeling that it has,
Mm-hmm.
it would honestly be something. I'm not going to look up this director's name because I don't have IMDb up, but the guy who did The Greasy Strangler.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
And that Barry something that's on Netflix right now. I forgot. It has Craig Robinson in it.
Oh, yeah. Jim Huskling.
Okay, thank you. It's like just like 2 notches away from being one of his movies.
Yeah.
Which is like, you're either going to love or hate that.
Yeah.
But I found it very similar. I'm not saying that the director and writer, they're imitating it in any way. I'm just saying it kind of falls into that line of comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Do we be watching this?
We be acknowledging this.
we be watching this in the background.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, it's not. Look, I'm glad I saw it.
Yeah,
I'm not upset that I saw it.
No, yeah.
I just don't know who's really gonna dig this. But hey, it's fine.
Yeah,
you've been acknowledged. I do hope this movie gets seen, but it might not be from the biggest audience.
Right.
But yeah, this is check it out. It's on Amazon. It's on Vudu.
Yeah.
And we be watching films, Jeff.
Hell yeah.
See ya. What's up, everybody? This is Adrian El Critico, recording this for what seems to be the 90th time. I just want to say thank you for everything. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this review or long-form podcast discussion, whatever the fuck it was you just listened to. You can follow us on Pocket Casts. You can follow us on Spotify. You can follow us on Apple Podcasts too, apparently, which I had no idea of. And if you want to leave a review there, that'd be really, really fucking cool. If you're listening to us on YouTube, subscribe, like, comment, please. That'd be so great because, truth be told, I just want to hear what you guys think about movies. So if you're like, hey, that was incorrect and this movie is great for this reason, let us know. And finally, a big thank you to Matthias, who has done the editing for all of our audio so far and will continue to. We will not be here if it weren't for him. So big thank you to him, and you can follow him on Instagram at the link below. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram. Pretty much everything is We Be Watching Films, except for Twitter, which is at We Be Watch Films because there's a character limit. But yeah, thanks so much, and stay tuned.